Okay, so let's take a look at now. Today we're going to look at rounding. So in rounding, we always want to go ahead and have a specific set of rules and steps. Okay, so we're going to take a look at, let's say, a number such as 32. Right? And we're going to round to the nearest tens. So 3 is in the tens place. I'm going to underline that. And what determines where I'm going to round? Well, I'm going to look to the place value to the right. I'm going to ask myself certain questions. Well, certain criteria. So if that number is 5 or more, we're going to add one more to the underlined number. Alright. If the number is 4 or less, we're going to leave the underlined number alone. Okay? Numbers to the right turn to 0. Okay, so with this criteria, let's take a look here. So I'm looking to round to the nearest 10. I've underlined this number. It's going to be 3. Because 3 is in my tens value. I look over to the right, and I check to see. There's a 2. Is that 5 or more, or 4 or less? Well, 2 is less than 5, so it falls in this 4 or less area. So that means this 3, that number, we leave it alone. So it stays a 3. All the numbers to the right turn to 0. Well, there's only one number, it's that 2, so that number 2 turns into a 0. So 32 is about 30. Now, this criteria we use for every other kind of rounding. Okay? So let's grab another one. I'm going to do 157. And we're going to round, let's say, to the nearest 100. Well, the 1 is in the hundreds place value. I underline it. I'm going to look to the right. Now let's see here. Is it 5 or more or 4 or less? Well, it's perfectly a 5. So it's 5 or more. I'm going to add one more to the underlined number. So the underlined number is 1. I'm going to add one more to it. So 1 plus 1 is going to give me 2. All the numbers to the right turn to 0. That 5 turns into 0. That 7 turns into a 0. So 157 rounded to the nearest 100 is about 200. Let's try another one. Let's see here. Let's go with 276. Now 276, let's round it to the nearest tens place. So 7 is in the tens place. And I want to look to the, that's right, we're going to look to the right. So I follow that rule again. Look here, there's a 6. Is it 5 or more or 4 or less? Well, 6 is 5 or more because it goes 5, 6. So that means it's in this rule here. So 5 or more, add one more to the underlined number. We underlined 7. So I'm going to add one more to it. Now, I know I need to add one more to the 7. That's going to be an 8, but what do I do with this 2? Well, it says here all the numbers to the right turn to 0. Well, this one's on the left. So all these numbers over here stay exactly what they are. So this one stays a 2. The only one changing are going to be these right here, the underlying number and everything to the right of the underlying number. So 7 plus 1 gives me 8. In the 6, numbers to the right turn to 0. So 276 rounded to the nearest 10 is about 280. Alright, let's try a couple more. I'm going to write here 1,695. Okay, and it's about, we're going to round it. And we're going to round this to the nearest tens place. So I underline the 10. I look to the right. Okay, so now I look here. I'm going to look up here. I'm going to say 5 or more or 4 or less. Well, 5 is 5 or more. So I follow through. Add 1 more to the underlying number. So I'm going to add 1 more to that 9. And we just figured out right here, if it's anything on the left, we leave it completely alone. We don't mess with it. So on the left, there is a 1,600. So I'm going to put 1,600. Now, something's happened here. 9 plus 1 is going to give me 10. How do I write that? Well, 9 plus 1 is 10, so that'll be a 0. Plus 1, because I'm carrying over that 1. 6 and 1 is going to be 7, and I leave that 1 alone. So this answer right here is actually going to be a 7. That 9 turned into 0 because we added 1 more and became a 10. And that 5, all the numbers to the right turned to a 0. Gotta be real careful about that one. When we go ahead and add 1 more and it turns into a 10, it changes the next number. So 1,695 rounded to the nearest 10 will actually round to 1,700. Let's try one last one. 297. We're going to round this to the nearest 100. I look to the right, and it's going to be about, let's see here, is it 5 or more or 4 or less? Well, it's 5 or more, so that means I'm going to add 1 more to the underlying number. So 2 plus 1 gives me 3. All the numbers to the right turn to 0. And that's how we go ahead and round. These little rules right here are the same for no matter what size number and no matter what size place value. We're always going to follow these specific rules. Okay. Hopefully that helps out. This is your digital tutor saying, thanks for watching. Make sure to check out some of our other videos if you still need help. Also, hit that subscribe button to be notified about new uploaded videos.